Hey, my successful allies. This is Brittany from What's Next to Success, and I just stopped by today to share a few words that was on my heart this morning. Actually, it's going to be a bit of a story time and some motivation for you all this morning. So, first, I want to take a minute and just share with you how before I do a video or before I do a meditation or before I journal, most of it like an intentional journal. Sometimes I just journal out the blue, but when I'm really sitting and I'm when I'm really sitting in the manifestation energy of my life, and I'm being very intentional with what I'm going to sit down and write and do, such as a video or a journal entry or a petition or a letter to the divine, I like to cleanse my space and just get rid of that old energy that may be attached to me or my space, and to bring in new energy. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to sage my space. You got to make sure you just open a window so the energies can be released and new energy can come within your space. Fresh air, fresh love, fresh money, fresh everything comes along with new energy, and just getting rid of the old. And that's what I feel like works for me, so I like to do that. So I like to pull up on YouTube. I don't own the copyrights of this music, but I like to pull up on YouTube guided meditation, sometimes people talking, and then most of the time I like to have the music, because music is frequency, and it brings the music that you choose, that your spirit calls onto you to play. It brings in those vibrations that you would like to have around you. So, and then I also like to bring in candles. I brought in these candles today, the yellow, the green one, and then my full-on chakra candle that I like to get. And you can pick these up at any of your metaphysical stores, or sometimes I find them at Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and Family Dollar sometimes has them. So I'll do another video on how I choose my candles and why I like to work with them. So my spirit, I brought all of these in here this morning for you all, but my spirit told me just to use the blue one, and blue is the color for good communication. My tea, I like to have my tea. Excuse me. And then so blue is the color of good communications. A lot of stones and crystals and candles and the colors, when you research it, blue is one of the colors for a clear line of communication and to help you communicate better. And the reason why I feel that I was drawn to the blue one is because I would like to come on here today and just provide you all with a clear-cut message and just state my intentions, and hopefully, get you all inspired and motivate someone today. So I chose blue. So we like to create a space that draws the energy of peace to us, and that will assist us in execution of our goal, which is to share the knowledge that you have in your heart. So my message for this morning is, I also have my intentions book. So every day I get up, I have a special book that I like to write my intentions for. So I just wrote down my intentions for this video so I can just stay on course, because I'll be all over the place. So my intentions for today are to help someone see their worth, and to also help people understand that you have to step out of your comfort zone. So it can be very challenging sometimes to step out of your comfort zone, but in order for you to grow, you have to step out of your comfort zone. Because if you just stay stagnated in the area that you're in right now, or just one area of your life, if you stay stagnated in there and you're not moving, you're not gonna, most likely you will take longer. I'm not gonna say you won't achieve goals, but you'll take longer. And during the process of taking longer, you can cause yourself a lot of pain and others a lot of pain. So you just want to step out of your comfort zone, because the reality of it is life can be hard, right? It can be hard. So people sometimes take the easier route, which is staying in their comfort zone, not facing fears, not pushing forward, not seeing what the world has to offer. And I was one of those people. So I'm going to speak for myself. So just to do a little backstory, those of you, some of you know me, some of you don't. But just to do a quick little backstory, I'm from Atlantic City, and somewhere around 16 years old, my mother passed away. And I was introduced to, because I grew up in Atlantic City, there's a lot of prostitution and drug dealing in Atlantic City. It is the inner city, and there's a lot of that goes on. So I was introduced to those lifestyles and became a part of that world for, I don't know, like 12 years, somewhere around 12 years. And during that process, I was just stagnated. It was like life had stopped. Like your true self, your true living, my true self, my true living had stopped. So I was in a comfort zone, even though it was traumas and pain and stuff like that, but that was what the comfort zone was. And there were a lot of things that I was not introduced to, and I'm gonna get to that later in this video. So my first intention is just to talk about stepping out your comfort zone. So I'll give you one example or a few examples along the way, but one example is when I went to jail in my 20s. I was about 27 when I went to jail. And I wasn't allowed to go home at that time. So that time that I was incarcerated, I had no bail. I couldn't leave jail. So, and I'm 38 now. So when I was 27, somewhere around 26, 27, I went to jail. And when I went from jail to a program and then to a halfway house. But when I was in the program portion of it, they make you do a lot of group therapy and a lot of things, and they introduce you to things like we went to plays. I had never been to a play. And we were also introduced to yoga and meditation. And I was also introduced there to inner child healing and shadow work. So inner child healing, off topic a little bit, but inner child healing is just dealing with a lot of traumas that you had when you were a child. Yoga, meditation helps to soothe your mind and your soul and to help you relax and just be able to get with your own thoughts. So I'm also stepping out of my comfort zone, even sharing a little bit more about my past, because I always feel like a little fearful or embarrassed. But I woke up this morning and I was reflecting. I was in my reflection time this morning, and I was like, how embarrassing is it the things that you were doing before, even though you were doing them to, take care of your kid or your family, or that's the only way that you knew how to live at that time. And when you go to jail, or if you have a kid and you feel those feelings of embarrassment with your children, maybe it doesn't come right away, but it'll come later. It'll come later, and you gotta just work through them. Because I did, and you could get through it. Like no problem. Like it's not a problem because there's always another side. But the problem starts to become when you just don't move forward, moving into the other side, because you feel embarrassed. So you don't really want to step out of your comfort zone. You want to just stay in your cocoon in your comfort zone, but you're not growing there. You're being stagnated. And then I decided that I don't care. Like, I'm going to just keep sharing and just expose myself, because there's people in this world that just need to hear you, Brittany. So whoever you are out there, there's people that need to hear you. So just live your own journey. Like, no matter what you feel embarrassed about, what you think you don't want people to know about you, just live your own journey and just focus on what your true purpose is. And if you don't know, as you keep moving forward, that I send you love and light, and then I trust that you will find out later what your true purpose is, because I did. I found out what my true purpose is in life, and I'm so grateful. And my next intention is to just share with you how listening to your soul and releasing energies is very important. So I was able to find my true purpose by releasing energies and listening to my own soul. I'm not perfect. Trust me, I'm not perfect. So there's still some times where I'm out of the matrix, but there's still some characteristics that I carry along from being a part of the controlled world for so long. So I learned certain ways. And then also, like, I do self-isolation where I'm gonna figure out another word, because isolation is like so, like, it has such a bad stigma to it, but I do I pull myself back from the outside world when I need to, and I focus on listening to my own soul and figure out which way I want to go. A friend of mine mentioned to me a few weeks ago that she doesn't even know who she is, and I remember that phase of my life where I didn't know who I was, and I just started to push forward, and other people, you know, motivated me to push forward by watching videos like this or just interacting with mentors and good people around me. And then I was able to figure out who I was. And I'm so grateful. And once I figured it out, I was like, okay, this is definitely what I need to be doing. So if you need to do that, and don't feel bad about it. As long as it's not like in an unhealthy way where you're being depressed and you're just like isolating yourself because you're having some other issues that you may need to get in touch with. You want to find yourself with a few good friends, and you want to make sure that they're smarter than you. Because when you're coming from certain kinds of lifestyles, you only know certain things. And they're going to teach you. And I have an experience from just yesterday where a few days ago, I was talking, and I'm still uneducated in certain areas, and there's only certain things that I can pull from because it's all I know. So I was speaking, and I made a comment that could be kind of offensive, even though that wasn't my intentions. And when you have people around you that truly care about you, they're going to tell you that you really want to try to live in your reality now and try to move further and further away from certain things that, you know, was holding you back and could cause problems in your life, as like communication. So I like to bring in the energy of better communicating. And in that, you need to learn we should learn new things. So I chose to learn new things so I can have a new, different kind of conversation, and I'm able to function in all different types of environments, because ultimately my main purpose in my life that I feel that the divine has given me in my heart is to help others see that no matter if they were prostitutes or if they were drug dealers or if they were in a domestic violence situation, that you can have a different kind of life. When I was in those kind of lifestyles, I had a certain kind of life and I wasn't living. I was just existing, paying my bills, and trying to take care of my son and trying to stay out of jail. Now I'm living. I'm creating businesses. I have family members, and this is not to brag or anything like that. This is just to help, hopefully motivate somebody. I have businesses. I have a son that went to college. I'm in an apartment. I'm in a townhouse now, and then I'm able to expand my business, expand my living situation, and move into a house. And I'm not hustling in the streets no more, and I'm not risking my life. So I'm doing things in my life that are positive, and everyone can do that. So on that note, I picked up these cards, and I just want to encourage you to know that you're worthy. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. So I'm just going to shuffle these. They're just some fun little chakra cards, and chakras is the parts of your body that are most important that they don't teach you in school, and I'll do another videos on chakras later. So I'm just going to pull a card, and they're just some motivational cards. So the sixth chakra, the third eye chakra, wisdom and discernment. I am open to understanding the spiritual truths behind the situation occurring in my life right now. I offer my wisdom to assist others along their path. I trust in higher source to guide me and to help others who ask for my guidance. I practice discernment and listen deeply within for the truth. I choose to respond rather than just reacting to situations, acting with clarity, courage, and conviction. I love you all. Know your worth and love on yourself today. And until next time, I'm Brittany from What's Next to Success, and bye.